And welcome back to the Los Alamitos preview show. We've already run the kindergarten futurity here at Los Alamitos, so our next big set of trials will be the trials for the Ed Burke Million in just a few weeks. And one of the top 2-year-olds in training for the Ed Burke Million is snitching from the Barnard trainer Mark Skeen, who was very impressive in a debut victory here about 3 weeks ago. Orlando Gutierrez caught up with Mark Skeen to talk about the progress snitching's made in preparation for the Ed Burke Million trials.
The trials for the Ed Burke Million Futurity are just around the corner. Sunday, June 7th will be a night of outstanding 2-year-old racing. The top juveniles will be in contention for a spot in the Ed Burke Million Futurity, and one of the hopefuls is Snitching, trained by Mark Skeen, as well as owned by Fauna Knight and Ron Skeen. And Mark, right now Snitching, one of those horses that has you pretty excited right now, doesn't it?
Yeah, we're pretty excited. He looks good.
Tell me about the horse coming up, how he had been training, and then the first race that he had, a pretty nice effort.
Yeah, the horse has just been good from day one. He's everything we wanted to do. He's just been more than willing to do. He's been sound and smart and went through his works good and run a nice first race. So pretty excited.
Since that first race, how has he been doing as you get closer and closer to the Ed Burke Million trial?
We probably run him a little too far out. He probably should have run a little closer because he's ready to go right now. He's ready.
So you anticipate maybe having like just a nice little work on the track or anything like that, getting ready for the trials, or are you ready to go just without anything?
No, we're going to turn and breeze him a little bit. Yeah, for sure.
And another 2-year-old that you have coming up that will be in action in some of the trials is Semper Fi, looking ahead of the Governor's Cup Futurity trials. Ran a nice second last time out. How is that horse doing?
That horse run really good. He broke and run good and straight and run a pretty nice race. And that family seems to get better and better as time goes on. So hopefully he will.
Now tell me about yourself. You've been training a long time. You told me that you actually started out your involvement in racing riding horses. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I was just a kid in northern Utah and just started galloping horses for the neighbor guys and then started riding some races up in Idaho and Utah and then I come down here in the 70s and galloped horses and worked down here and then went back up and worked for another guy up there for quite a while and started training. And
now, you actually said that when you came out to California, you were working for Wayne Charlton, a name that's familiar to those here around Los Alamitos.
Yeah, I come down here and worked for Wayne, and I was at the ranch in Chowchilla mostly, and then on the fair circuit one year with Wayne, and then back to the ranch, and yeah, back to Utah.
Now, and then you started training horses.
Went back up there and worked for a guy for quite a while, a good trainer named Gary Douglas, and worked for him and learned a lot from him, and then started training up there and been doing that since.
With a long career, what would you call your highlight?
Oh man,
Los Alamitos Winter Derby winner.
Yeah. And we've had some awful nice horses, but he was a special one.
Now, looking ahead at Snitching, how do you think he might compare to Oatman?
No, not yet. Maybe later. But Semper Fi is a brother to Oatman. He's a full brother. And we have another 3-year-old named Old 6-6 that run 4th in the Winter Derby, and he's a brother.
Good family for you.
Oh, really good. Really nice family. Good family. We like to buy them ones.
Well, the trials to the Ed Burke Million Futurity, June the 7th here at Los Alamitos Racecourse. Keep an eye on Snitching. And don't forget Semper Fi and 066 knocking some good races here at Los Alamitos for Mark Skeen and his family. Back to the studio.
Well, thanks, Orlando. I'm really looking forward to Snitching running here in the trials for the Ed Burke Million in just a couple of weeks, Les. And you and I both remember that 12-flat gate drill and the very easy debut victory. One of the most impressive 2-year-olds so far.
I think one of the most impressive because, first of all, I mean, whenever a horse goes from a B+ to an A work and all of a sudden the debut, even better than this workout, Snitching, I just love this horse's stride crossing the wire.
Well, we heard Mark Skeen talk about Snitching. We didn't hear Jose Flores talk about Shut Out, but I still remember that same night that Snitching won race number 7. Shutout's a full sister to Snitching, almost as impressive visually as Snitching was in that win. And of course, Shutout's coming back in the trials as well.
Well, very similar type of races for both because both horses really extended their legs to final lap, and both horses were very, very strong crossing the wire.